everyone. It is Sunday sit-down time. My guest tonight needs no introduction. Laurence Bowers, thanks for making your sit-down debut in our new set here. How does it feel to kind of be in a new space a little bit?
It's nice. It's nice. Came in a new entrance. No longer can wear shorts and just a blazer. Had to actually put on some pants. So I'm excited to be here. I appreciate you always having me on.
I feel your pain on the shorts thing, but you know, obviously we have a lot to talk about. You have a busy summer. You're always one of the busiest guys I know in the summer. I want to talk about the alumni game.
I don't want to brag about that.
You don't?
No, I want life to slow down a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Well, this summer you have some fun stuff coming up. This alumni game, I'm looking at this roster here. You have some big times names coming to Mizzou Arena. Kind of tell me just how crazy it is to get this alumni game assembled and all these big names get to come back here.
It's not the easiest feat, right? You know, all of us guys, we have our own lives, living all over different parts of the country. Family guys, so it's not easy at all, but nonetheless, I think the amount of support that we receive from the school back in our times of playing, I think it makes it an easy decision for a lot of us to come back and try to do something that's very impactful.
Well, I'm curious, how do you guys, you and Damari, how did you kind of split up the teams a little bit? How do you get to decide who gets who?
Believe it or not, it was me this year. I kind of made up the teams, and you know, now that I look at the teams, I'm a little worried, if I'm being honest. Damari was coaching in the playoffs with the Cavaliers, so he didn't really have as much time to help me, you know, determine the teams. But nonetheless, Mizzou is going to win regardless.
Right. Well, I'm looking at Damari's team. He's got, you know, Kobe Brown, Demoy Hodge, you see Jeremiah Tillman, some of those more recent guys coming back. First time we've gotten to see them in an alumni game. You know, how cool is it to kind of have those younger guys come back here as well?
It's cool to have them back. Like I said, they're not on my team. So, you know, if you look at Team Bowers roster, we have some very well-known names, but we're all old. So it's great to have Kobe come back. You know, he just finished his second season in the NBA. Jeremiah's still playing, Demoy's still playing. It's just great. I mean, you know, we're reaching back 4 decades. So, like I said, whoever attends, they'll see their favorite player from their era.
I mean, what have you heard from fans about how exciting it is? I feel like there's someone for everyone, someone that everyone might remember playing. What have you heard from fans about just how cool this alumni game is?
Well, a lot of people, you know, always sing the praises of it. I mean, this is our 3rd time, maybe our final time. But, you know, I've heard from older people, I've heard from newer fans that they had a great time when we did this game 3 years ago. And, you know, to have guys like Doug Smith come back and Brock Olivo, you know, shout out to him, just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Like I said, we're reaching back. You know, I didn't even see these guys play. Doug played when I was just born. So it's going to be a great time. We're going to raise a lot of money for 3 awesome, well-deserving organizations. And like I said, the Tigers are going to win.
Well, you mentioned it. Kind of tell me about the organizations that you guys are fundraising for this year.
Yeah, so United Community Builders is a local nonprofit here in town. I sit on the board for it, so it means a lot to me. We're in the middle of building a $9 million community center on the northeast side of Columbia. So all of the funds that we make from this game, you know, that'll be a big push towards our final goal. The E3 Sports Foundation is my new nonprofit that I just established. And, you know, the reason I did that is because there's a lot of kids that can't afford to go to camps and, you know, pay for their leagues and equipment. So I wanted to do my part, and I know we have another organization in town, Daydreams Foundation, who does an incredible job, so maybe we'll pair up on some stuff. And then the Carroll Family Foundation, which is Damari Carroll's foundation, that does a lot of research for pediatric liver disease. So as you know, he was diagnosed with liver disease, not pediatric, but just trying to do our part to instill what we can into the kids within these organizations.
Well, it's a really fun way to raise that kind of money. What is it like, you know, suiting up, putting a uniform on, going on the Mizzou Arena floor and getting to play again?
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, obviously, it's nostalgic, right? Like, you know, I played there and played in front of a lot of sold-out crowds. But my body looked a little different. I could jump back in the day. I can't jump now. But nonetheless, it's a really, really fun time. And the thing I think I'm honestly looking most forward to is that my son's never seen me play, ever. My daughter had a chance during her earlier years, but my son's never seen me in a jersey playing. I told him not to expect much, but he's very, very hyped to be out there and, you know, to be on the court with Daddy.
Well, that's awesome. You know, is there a football player over the years that has kind of maybe surprised you? Do you think there's a football player this year that you're expecting to maybe stand out a little?
Well, I mean, Justin Gage technically played both, so he should be better than most. But I think so far the football MVP will probably be Tommy Saunders.
Yeah.
He's not playing this year, but he played the first 2. He was really good. So Jarrell Jackson, you know, he got hurt in the last one, so fingers crossed we don't have any more of those, but he was a standout crowd favorite. So it'll be interesting to see what football players can really hoop. You know, they like to talk a lot of trash, and Alden Smith apparently played back in the day, so I would expect him to probably be MVP of the football side.
You expecting much from Chase Kaufman? I feel like the tight end has to get up there a little bit.
Well, Chase Kaufman's on my team, so I'm shooting all the shots. So Chase, if you see this, you're not getting the. No, I'm joking. Chase should be pretty good as well. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You know, another aspect of your busy summers, of course, Camp Bowers, one of the most fun parts of the summer, if you ask me. You know, kind of tell me, how has the sign-ups been lately? You know, how's Camp Bowers growing for another year?
For us to be going to our 11th year, I mean, it's unbelievable. Last year we hosted 619 kids. We had 103 come full scholarship. As of right now, we're sitting around 415. So on pace to have another successful camp. I try not to compare last year to this year because each year's in its own right is a great camp. So, you know, for those who are interested, www.lbosports.com. Nothing's changed. The Mizzou men and Mizzou women will be our coaches again, sprinkled in with some other local college athletes, and we're going to get better and have a great time.
You know, as your kids get older as well, how cool is it to have your kids, you know, and your entire family involved in this camp?
It's the best. It's the best. My biggest joy, my biggest accomplishment is being a dad. And my kids know that dad is available, dad is there. And whenever I can do things of this nature, you know, on a grander scale like Camp Bowers, and have my kids be a part of it, I mean, it's bliss. I'm overjoyed.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, obviously the Mizzou men and women both getting to interact with, you know, those kids, especially, you know, kids from Columbia College, a lot of different areas. You know, how exciting is it to kind of see them kind of get that development, help those kids with that development and get to interact with kids at such a young age?
I mean, it's great because, I mean, the next generation is the future.
Right.
And to have these young men and young women who are currently playing, I mean, all the kids in my camp, they look up to these guys and girls, you know. Coach Bowers, you know, he's old, you know, he's cool, right? But they get to see Anthony Robinson. They get to see, you know, Grace Slaughter. So to be able to interact with them, I mean, that really is the highlight of the camp. For me, mixing the newer generation with the future is always worth it.
Well, just give us a refresher. Tell us about a day at Camp Bowers. What does Camp Bowers look like for maybe people that haven't attended before?
I mean, it's a full day event. We go for 3 days with ages 8 to 10 and then ages 11 to 16. We'll start with stretching with API, Jarrell Jackson. He'll take them through the grind, and we have a lot of fun. We compete, we have a lot of fun. We give out a ton of prizes and awards, and we have wonderful sponsorships from people in the community. So we have food trucks. I mean, it's a grand experience, and each year we try to reinvent the wheel. And then we have our Baby Ballers camp, which I think is the cutest camp ever, ages 5 to 7. And, you know, that's like herding cats. But at the end of the day, everybody leaves with a basketball, everybody leaves, and I feel like they can honestly say that they learned something from the camp.
Baby Ballers is one of my favorites as well. Looking forward to that camp again. Of course, the alumni game coming up on June 14th. Lawrence, thank you so much for making time to talk about it. Your busy summer. I hope you get a break soon.
Yeah, hopefully. But I appreciate you again, and MIZ.
Awesome. For the rest of you guys, we'll be right back after the break.